So today we have a service call on a Hoshizaki ice machine that's got low production. I'm waiting for the machine to finish a cycle of ice. I walked up on it like this. The first thing I'm going to tell you right now is I'm not super happy with the frost pattern coming back to the compressor. That is a little bit excessive to me, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions yet. I've got everything ready so that way when the harvest is done, I can time the cycle and then catch the refrigerant pressures. With the Hoshizaki, we're going to use their tech specs book right here. And we're gonna make a note of the pressures during the 5 minutes into the freeze cycle. That's where they log them. So we just went into a harvest, so we're gonna watch this machine harvest its ice, and then once the water pump starts back up in the freeze mode, we'll start the timer. I'm waiting for the water pump to start back up in the freeze mode, but God, that compressor sounds like crap. Listen to that. Does not sound healthy. We're still in a harvest mode. There we go. Now we started back in the freeze mode. My water pump started up. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And then log my refrigerant pressures down throughout the cycle. So I'm still waiting for this to make ice, but this is really a problem for me. I'm leaning towards this unit having a bad TXV. So far, I'm going to finish the cycle out, but so far my refrigerant pressure is at the 5 minute mark, 58 over 307, and we're required to have 44 over 280 at 100 degree ambient. So this is what the manufacturer wants me to have, and this is what I actually have. And this is going on right here, so I'm really leaning towards a bad TXV, but we're going to finish out the cycle, and then I'm going to pull the sensing bulbs to make sure they're secured properly, and then do a swing test on them to see how much refrigerant pressure change I get when I hold the bulbs in my hand. Kind of want to point out that Hoshizaki machines, they're my favorite ice machine, but they take a long time to cycle, especially in the summertime. Realistically, this is going to be a 30 to a 35 minute freeze cycle, and then, you know, a 2 minute harvest cycle. And then on the older machines, you can see up to 45 minutes. Okay, so I pulled the sensing bulbs off, and I really don't see much of a swing from the, I believe it's the top valve. The bottom, no, it's the bottom I don't see a swing at all in my pressures, but in the top I see like a 5 to 8 psi pressure change when I hold the sensing bulb in my hand. The bottom I think I saw like a 2 degree or 2 psi or 1 psi pressure change. So my theory is that the bottom valve is overfeeding. But if you've ever worked on a Hoshizaki, if you ever have bad expansion valves, if it has 2 or multiple or more than that, you change them all at the same time. So we're going to change these 2 expansion valves, and then we're also going to fix this insulation issue, because you notice the insulation's dripping. I've showed you on other machines, and it's starting to rust out the bottom of the cabinet. And eventually that's going to rust through. So we'll fix all that insulation at the same time. Yeah, and it's already starting to get flood back again. So it's okay to see a little ring, but not the whole body of the compressor. That's what you don't want to see. I'll usually see like a little frost ring, maybe, you know, a ½ inch bigger than the suction line inlet, but never the whole side of the compressor. Right now, the refrigerant pressures, they really don't mean a whole lot. When you're working on a Hoshi, you just want to look at the pressures really 5 minutes into the freeze cycle like I showed you guys. And we had 58 over 307, and we should have had 44 over 280. So yeah, we'll go from there. We're going to order the expansion valves and the liquid dryer, and we'll come back. I might change the thermistor because it's right in here, and I might disturb it, and I'd hate to break that thermistor when I'm trying to put the new sensing bulbs and re-insulate and stuff. So I'll at least have a thermistor with me just in case. And yeah, that's it.
All right, so as I showed you in the video, I ended up going back out there and replacing both of the expansion valves and the liquid dryer. I was able to safely do it without disturbing the thermistor, but I did have one with me, okay? The thermistor is that orange wire. It sometimes can become a problem. If you move it around, you can mess it up, but nope, everything was good. I also brought to the customer's attention the noise that I heard from the compressor, and I kind of warned them about that, but they chose not to replace the compressor at this time, which is all good. I mean, it was working fine when I was done. So I just told them more of a precaution. It didn't sound good. I suggested that they let me replace it, but they wanted to hold off on that. So we did so. Other than that, everything else went good. The machine's working great. No problems. It's actually been quite a while because it's December now. This is just a video I've been sitting on for a while. So this was all the way back from in the summertime. But yeah, machine's been working fine. We do normal preventative maintenance at this restaurant. So we're looking at this machine basically every other month, and yeah, everything else has been good. Okay. I highly suggest that you guys consider subscribing to some of the channels that are popping up right now. These guys produce some great content. So check them out. And if you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel if you like my content. Okay. Other than that, I will see you guys on the next one.